Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. In today's episode, giving y'all another story time. Yeah, this one, I might have told this story. I don't think I did. Because I'm trying to think. I don't think I ever talked about it on my podcast. I feel like it wasn't that long ago. It was like maybe a few years ago when it happened. But it was definitely one of those situations where I'm like, I'm a little bit more careful when it comes to to who joins my Twitch streams and stuff. But nah, man, it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't get why Just A Robot's fans have to be so petty. It's one of those things where I'm like, and then what trips me out is that when I talk on this stuff or when I call them out on that type of stuff, they're all like, oh bro, let it go, move on, all this stuff. Like it's almost as if like they just trying to downplay. I'm like, fam, you guys are harassing people. I don't think you understand that. That's not something that you just brush away or just whatever. Maybe I should, I guess wait 10 years down the road and then talk about it. But it's one of those things where I'm like, it needs to get talked about now. If you guys know me, you know I don't hold my tongue with nothing. I talk on stuff. Whatever is sitting on my conscience, I'm going to talk about it, all right? So, anyways, getting to this situation that happened a few years ago on Twitch. And what's so trippy about it, it's like, I've dealt with this before. Like, if you guys remember me talking about the Glenn Gregan kid, it was literally this situation all over again. But anyways, so the drama between me and Just A Robot, it stopped. I got into Twitch streaming. He was doing his thing. I was growing a little bit more on YouTube. I got into streaming because I was getting guideline strikes on YouTube. So I was like, hey, you know what? I gotta fall back on something. So let me go take another run at this streaming stuff. Excuse me, because, I'm like, nah, it's like, I do want to stream. I want to do a little bit more with content creating. I'm creating all these different YouTube channels. Might as well get back into Twitch. So, anyways, fun fact, I actually had disabled my Twitch account at one point in time. Like, I wasn't even really gonna, it's crazy how, like, I say that I'm going to just not fool with the website or whatever, like Twitch and YouTube more so. But it was like with my main channel on YouTube, I was just going to let YouTube delete the channel because I think at that time they still was doing that, where it's like if a channel is inactive, they'll delete it. And then with my Twitch channel, I remember I disabled it because it was, I think it got like hacked. It like wasn't really, like the security wasn't really all that good on it and stuff. And I think it was like somebody signed in and did something, and then after that, I was like, I ain't even gonna fool with Twitch no more. But they did up their security, and so I was like, all right, cool. I'll re-enable it. I'll just kind of leave it open, join people's streams here and there, and all that stuff. Because that's what I was mainly doing. I was mainly a viewer when I very first got into Twitch. I tried to stream a little bit here and there and stuff, but yeah, for the most part, I was always watching people's streams and stuff. So, but no, 2021. I got into streaming. It was like late 2020 I got into streaming, but I really start going crazy with it in 2021. I think this situation between me and one of the Just A Robot fans, this had happened in 2022. And so anyways, 2022, it's pretty much like 1 year streaming. And then, it's just any other normal day. I think I was playing the video game Car X, Drift Racing Online. I think I was playing that game because I remember I was playing that game a lot at one point in time. Like, I was playing it, I would have to say, just about every day. Like, I would just go through all the different cars that they had on there, try to get gold on all the different tracks and stuff. And yeah, I was addicted to playing that game. And I think it might have been that game. But anyways, might have been another game. Might even have been either Grid or Grid Legends. I can't remember. It might have been Grid. I don't know. But I think I was playing a racing game at the time when this Just A Robot fan had joined my stream. But that was the thing. I didn't know that they were a Just A Robot fan. They made it seem like that they wasn't. But so anyways, they joined my stream, dropped a follow. I'm like, same business with anybody else that drops a follow. Hey, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. And then, they just talking about some random stuff. Then that's out of nowhere. They dropped that on me. They was all like, oh, hey, I used to be a fan of Just A Robot. dang, all right, well, I'm like, here we go with this. But no, it was like, the thing is this though, they wasn't talking as if they were just a robot fan, because they like to have this weird way of conversating with you where they will insult you, but they'll try to make it seem like that they just having a normal conversation and stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, fam, you like, please, if you don't, why are you here if I bother you that much? That just, to me, just doesn't even make any sense. You purposely search my name up, click on whatever video or whatever stream, and it's like, oh, I gotta make myself upset. I don't understand it. I really don't. But anyways, no, he wasn't talking like that at first. Okay, like, hold on. There's still more to this podcast episode. So anyways, but yeah, he was all like, yeah, I used to be a Just a Robot fan. He didn't even really elaborate on why he unsubscribed. Now, so I'm like, now thinking about that, I'm like, yeah, he probably wasn't like a former, he was a current Just a Robot fan. So anyways, he's talking about a bunch of different random stuff. He'll join the stream from time to time. Then out of nowhere, the conversation started getting weird. And I had to check him on just about everything that he talked on, because I'm like, bro, don't talk on that. Bro, leave that alone. Bro, that's not a conversation that you need to be having right now. Like, just leave it, you know. It's like, it's one of those things. I'm like, come up with an answer, but you not. So the funny thing is, I had to say, one of the first few times I remember he came to my stream, and I did post I posted the ones that were offensive. I should have went and posted all of them, but that's the thing. He disabled the account once when I had called him out on how he was acting. He disabled the account because I pretty much gave him a Epstein file situation. I leaked out the incriminating ones, and he did disable the Twitch account before it went any further and stuff. So, by the way, this guy's name, I don't know if it was his real name or if that was just like a fake name that he had just I guess harass me, but his name was Hamza, in case if you guys was wondering. So you do what you want with that information. I'm not saying you guys gotta go track this person down and harass them, but if you remember and stuff, because I'm pretty sure there's gonna probably be some people like, oh yeah, I remember that guy, you know. But yeah, because he would join the stream quite often, and he just always would say some old random stuff, and it got to the point where I was like, bro, if he joins the stream, I'm not even gonna stream for that long. I'm like, no, I'm gonna stream for a little bit, then after that I'm just gonna I don't know, work on some videos or something. But anyways, so the first time he comes to the stream, and he not the first time, but because I'm like jumping all over the place. I'm thinking back on the first time he joined, so one of the first few times he joined my stream, he comes in, he asks me, and he's like, how many people do you live with? And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, why is he asking me that question? I'm like, it's me and my family. Like, why do you need a number amount? Like, because my thing is this, what kind of question is that? Like, if you claim to just be a normal person and things, what kind of question is that? The times where I've joined people's stream, I've never been worried about how many people live in their household. Like, unless we're talking about that, and then they're all like, oh yeah, there's like, my brother does this, and then my other brother does this, and then my other brother does this, and then my sister does this, and then the family dog. I'm like, dang, how many people you got in the household? That's when you ask that type of question. But if I'm like, hey guys, so in today's stream, I'm going to be playing Car X Drift Racing Online. Cool story, bro. Anyways, how many people live in your household? You see how that's weird? You see how that's just a weird question to ask somebody, especially when they like, it's one of those things where it's like, you need to read the room. Because I'm like, to me, that just don't even make no sense to ask nobody no question like that. But so I'm like, it's me and my family. Like, why do you need a number amount and stuff? Bypasses that. Then he out of nowhere asked me, he was like, do you own a gun? So now I'm like, okay, why are you asking me these questions? Like, what's going on here? Like, why am I being interviewed for something? Are you Secret Service? And then you just trying to, like, you know, hire me or something? I kid you not. All right. He asked me that question. I asked him, you know, with the question, why are you asking me this? Like, what reason do you need to know if I own a gun or not? He goes on to say, and I kid you guys not, like, I'm telling you, this guy, it's one of those things where he'll say he's not racist, but he'll have conversations. It's like me trying to tell people that I'm not African American. That's pretty much him trying to tell people that he's not racist. He asked me, I tell him, or I ask him back. I'm like, why do you need to know that information? I kid you not. He goes on and says, well, I figure because you're black, you should own a gun, right? What kind of response is that? That's one of those things where it's like, bro, who raised you? Like, what's your thought process? Are you slow? Like, is something, like wrong with you? Because if so, you saying that you used to be a Just a Robot fan, then asking me a question like that, yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. All right. Yeah, I'm like, something ain't right with you. But no, the thing is this though, it was always a weird conversation with him. Like, I remember a time where he joined my stream. I think, was I playing Car Mechanic? It seemed like it was always with the car games. Like, he'll join the stream and just start saying no, actually, I take that back. It was Crisis. I remember there was a time where I had to get on him while I was playing Crisis. I think he was talking about a friend of his, and I think I might have been playing Crisis. But anyways, some of these streams you might be able to find on my gaming channel. You'll probably have to do some searching around, because I have posted a lot of streams on my gaming channel. But no, yeah, it's you might be able to find some. I think if anything, those streams might have been uploaded between 2021 and 2024, possibly. It's either 2021 or 2022 all the way up until 2024, possibly, maybe, I don't know. But anyways, so no, that wasn't just the one and only time when he joined my stream and just would ask me some old off the wall weird questions. So eventually I did get on him, and I'm like, hey, stop asking me weird questions. And he's like, I don't find them weird. Yeah, you don't find them weird, but I find them weird. So stop asking. Because I'm like, there ain't even no reason for you to be knowing of all these. Because I think there was another time he did join the stream and he asked me some personal question. And I'm like, hey, stop asking me personal questions. Nobody comes to the stream and just starts asking people personal questions. You come to the stream, you talk about the game, you want to ask some personal question, make it like general personal questions, questions where it's like, okay, you wouldn't be uncomfortable answering. I guess, I don't know, maybe because people like him, they a little weird in the head and stuff. So yes, questions like that, they wouldn't have nothing. But I'm like, you find a question that's equally weird and somebody asks you that question and see, won't you be feeling the same way? All right, might not be the question that you asking me, but it'll be that one question where it's all like, why are you asking me that? So yeah, it's one of those things. I'm like, bro, stop that. I'm like, it's weird. He's trying to convince me that it's not. I'm like, I'm telling you that it is. Okay, read the room. You don't see nobody else in my stream talking like this. Why are you the only one talking? The amount of times where I've had people join my stream for the first time, and I've had people join my streams from all over, from right on the West Coast to the East Coast, I've had people, I think, all the way in India join my stream. I'm trying to think, where else have I had people? I feel like was it New Zealand? It might have not been. It was either, or was it Iceland? It was an area that ended in land. And I'm like, fam, there have been people from all over that have joined my streams and they've never asked me no weird off the wall questions, even with games that I played. And there's people that become a fan of me over a game that I'm playing. Even they don't ask me weird questions. They might ask me a weird question with a video game. And I'm like, I don't know how to answer that, but I'm going to try it. Yeah, one of those types of questions, but when you're asking me personal questions, stuff like, I'm like, fam, stop that. It's weird. Okay. So anyways, then he just got to the point where he just wanted to start being disrespectful towards people. Like, not even so much as like, well, he was being disrespectful towards people in my stream, because I will talk on that in a moment. But no, he was talking about, I guess, like how he's disrespecting like people in real life, one being his own mom. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, fam, so that was the whole backstory on that. So he joins my stream and he's all like, hey, yeah, me and my mom, we got into it because she doesn't want me to curse in front of her, but I'm trying to explain it to her that I'm a grown man and I should be allowed to curse in front of her. And I'm like, fam, it's one of those things where I'm like, hey, whatever is going on in your household, that's between you and the people in your household. But I could just say for myself that I don't curse in front of my parents. They might say a curse word in front of me, but I'm like, it's one of those things. I'm 29 years old. And I'm like, the only time I would have to say if it ever got to that moment is if I'm maybe mad about something, but I have to be extremely mad. Or if I'm playing in a movie or something or a TV show, then it's written in my characters, the script that I'm supposed to curse. That would be the only time. Other than that, I'm like, the thing is this, and it's funny how like, I from time to time, I'll have this conversation. I should just do a full-blown podcast episode. I think I was like kind of did elaborate on it a little bit, like how I talk and stuff. The way that I talk, I don't need to say a curse word in every sentence. I don't need to say the N-word. I don't need to say none of that. I can have an intellectual or just even a plain old simple conversation with people and not have to curse. Fam, listen to the past 200 seasons of my podcast of me not cursing. I'm like, I'd rather my thing is this. I would rather have a conversation where I don't know nothing about whatever the topic is, and then, yeah, just talk like how I usually talk. Then they're like, oh, I gotta alter the conversation, I guess, for that person's, their understandings and stuff. No, I ain't gotta do all that, So I'm like, I can have a normal conversation with people. But I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, fam, this is your mom. Like, you're trying to seek some validation from me? I'm like, fam, even I'm gonna tell you that you shouldn't curse in front of your parents, even if they do curse in front of you. But it sounds like that she doesn't. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, she probably doesn't want to hear that, so like, respect it. You go any and everywhere in this world and curse, but I'm like, fam, it's one of those things where it's like, if your parent doesn't want you to curse, don't curse. Like, just watch the mouth real quick. But I think what he was trying to do is like seek some sort of argument out of it and stuff, and I'm like, fam, I'm not gonna sit here and argue about whatever is going on in your household. That's between you and whoever the people are in your household. If she don't want you to curse, respect it. But if you not, what am I supposed to do with that? What, you want me to be the, like, I guess, like the man of the house or something? I'm like, I'm gonna tell you the same thing. Don't curse. But anyways, yeah, I remember he had that conversation one day, and I'm like, why did I have that conversation? Like, what was the reason of that? Like, why? I'm like, of all the conversations, things we could have talked on, we could have talked about the game. We could have talked about one of my latest videos. We could have talked about anything. You only want to talk on something where it's like that, like just some old weird conversation, or the only time where he would talk on content is if it's something related to Just a Robot. But the crazy thing is like, I can post a game trailer reaction, I can post music, I can post what else, like I can like just any content out there outside of the Just a Robot like content and stuff. And he only wanted to talk about, it'll be like that one video out of the thousands of videos that I done posted, and he's like, oh yeah, let's talk on this Just a Robot video. And I'm like, fam, what is there to talk about with it and stuff? Like, that's the only thing you want to talk on. Is weird, bro. But anyways, then there was the time. So for those that don't know, I had a little bit of a racist moment when I was in high school. Yeah, there was a situation where this girl that I liked, where I ended up hearing it from her actually, where she was like, she said that she couldn't be with me because of, I guess, I don't know if it was like a family thing or her thing, but I mean, I ain't never seen her date no black person before, so I don't know, maybe she is racist. I don't know what the situation is with her, but no, yeah, she told me some stuff like that, and I'm like, dang, I'm like, so we can't date because of the color of my skin? I'm like, well, at that point, I was like, I dropped contact with that girl. I'm like, you're crazy, because I'm like, I ain't never heard of no stuff. We're living in a day and age where it's like, yeah, I'm like, relationships of all different kinds can happen. I don't know what kind of, KKK situation. The crazy thing is like, she was a person of color herself. I'm like, fam, that's kind of weird. I'm like, you have to understand how weird that is. If there's ever a day where me and that girl are paths cross, I'm gonna ask her that. I'm like, fam, don't you find that kind of weird, you being a person of color telling another person of color it ain't gonna work out because you're a person of color? Like, I mean, come on now. But anyways, so I talked about that. I think it was some random video that I did back in, I think it was 2020, I believe, or it might have been before that. I can't remember. But anyways, I talked on it one time. It wasn't like I'd be talking on it on a regular basis and all this other stuff. It was a one-time thing. He somehow, some way remembers that. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, fam, I didn't even remember doing the video. But anyways, he joins my stream, because I had said that in the video. I was all like, no, yeah, that was racist. So he joins my stream and he's like, oh yeah, I seen that video of when you was talking about that girl from your high school that turned you down over the color of your skin. And I'm like, yeah, bro, that happens at times. I'm like, so it's a weird thing to deal with, but yeah, it's whatever. He goes on to say, he was like, I personally don't think it's racist. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, so if somebody rejects you and it's not because of how you act, it's not because of, I guess maybe, yeah, I had to say that's probably the only thing. Like, maybe you act too serious, or you act funny, or you have like a nonchalant personality where, you just don't allow things to affect you, whatever the case may be. It's not any normal stuff that you would get rejected over. Or even it might be on some stuff where it's all like, hey, I'm seeing somebody already. Like that's normal stuff to, I guess, to reject somebody over, right? when you look somebody in the face and well, no, she didn't even look me in the face because she probably it's one of those things you can't like really say it to nobody's face. No, so she ended up texting that to me. And no, yeah, and I was all like, fam, after that, I was like, nah, yeah, don't contact me, don't talk with me, none of that stuff. Just leave me alone. And things like we did actually get in contact and talk, but I was like, it's one of those things I'm like, nah, I wasn't really in the right headspace during that time frame of when me and her got in contact. But yeah, since then I was like, I just don't have a reason to have no conversation with her. I'm not holding no grudges. Like if it was one of those things where if she reached out to me and needed it, like let's say if it was like on some content creating stuff, like yeah, business, okay, personal stuff, I'm like, yeah, I guess if she wanted to revisit that whole relationship conversation, I'm like, nah, you got like a weird thing going on and I'm okay. I'm like, may you have the best life, but I don't need that in my life. So anyways, but he says that he joins my stream and he's all like, I personally don't think what she said was racist. And I'm like, fam, she rejected me over the color of my skin. That's you can't argue what's racist and not racist. I'm like, that it's like you're having a conversation about something that's already been here long before you were born. Because I think he said he was like 20 something at the time. So I'm like, racism has been, it wasn't like racism was discovered 2-3 years ago and we just now trying to discover what racism is. Like, fam, we all know what's racist and what's not racist. That's racist. You can't tell me I'm like, oh yeah, a person could get rejected over the color of their skin and it's normal. Nah, I'm like, there's some line of racism that's there. I'm sorry, but that's just how I feel on that conversation. So anyways, he tells me, so we're going back and forth talking about it. And I'm like, look, I ain't going to argue with you about what's racist and not racist. I'm like, cause I remember him saying that he was Middle Eastern. He told me that one day. I'm like, I guarantee and I promise you, if a girl said, oh, I can't be with you because you look like Osama bin Laden, you going to say that that's racist. You ain't going to sit here and tell me like, oh, well, if that's how you feel and then just move on with your life. Nah, that's racist. All right. So, but anyways, yeah, he was trying to argue with me about that. I'm like, I ain't going to feed into it. I'm trying to figure out though, like when stuff like that happened, why did I not realize what was going on and just block them right then and there? You know, like that's the thing that tripped me out about that is that me and this guy had numerous, because there would be times where he would be talking about like random people, like friends of his, like not like talking about them like he's telling me about them, like no, like just being disrespectful while talking about them and stuff. And I'm like, fam, if you claim to be like this is your friend, like be a little bit more respectful. I just don't, I'm not, my thing is this, you'll never hear me talking about somebody that I'm cool with. Like if this is my best friend or anything, it's like me talking behind their back and saying something disrespectful. I'm like, what you got going on? Why are you telling me this? Like it's just all the different people you can talk to, but it's like you're telling me this, why? You know? So anyways, then there was the one day where I snapped on him because I'm like, okay, you're not going to join my stream and disrespect my friends. That's not going to happen. All right. That's one of those things where I'm like, you need to understand one thing and one thing only. When you join my stream, you will be respectful. Otherwise you will get banned. I'm not trying to hear no, oh, I should be allowed. I don't care how you feel, what you got going on. If you join my stream on some disrespectful stuff, if you comment underneath my videos on some disrespectful stuff, I don't care what the situation is, you will get banned and you will get blocked. Point blank simple. There ain't no, oh, well, I should, like, oh, I gotta, no, I'm not hearing nothing that you have to say. You have to understand one thing and one thing only. When you come to a TMossBoss platform, you will be respectful. If not, leave. There ain't no arguments about that. I'm not hearing, there is no argument that you can tell me, convince me and all that. Yeah, call me hard-headed. Call me, you know, you don't, or say you don't understand nothing. All the other different things that people have been saying, still, it's going to be the same business. Ain't nothing going to change my mind. So, anyways, there was a day where I had to snap on him because I'm like, you're not going to come here and disrespect my friends. That's not going to happen. So me and a friend of mine's, she was joining my stream on a regular basis at one point in time. And no, because we had just reconnected and stuff. Like I had just started talking because it was somebody that I used to be cool with back in middle school. So we reconnected, talking almost all the time and stuff. She started joining my streams, and I think I was playing the video game Generation Zero. I'm like, yeah, maybe that's why he said what he said, because that video game is about killing robots. So I'm like, yeah, he probably took offense to the game that I was playing, and he's like, oh no, it's like kind of had like a Men in Black situation. He didn't want like that bug guy. He didn't want me to kill no bugs. He just didn't want me to kill no robots and stuff while playing Generation Zero. I'm like, okay, well that's literally the objective of the game. I guess I could. Well, no, I think there are missions where you have to kill the robots. So I'm like, you can't beat that game unless you kill robots. I'm like, fam, I guess maybe I should stop playing the game, but it's a pretty fun game. So anyways, so I'm playing that game. My friend joins. That stream might actually be on YouTube. You might be able to watch it and see what he said and stuff. But anyways, I had to find it myself. But anyways, regardless, so my friend joins the stream. Because like I said, we just reconnected. Like I'm just now finding out things about her. So she told me that she was an engineer, I think. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, fam, that's actually, it was for a cell phone company too. And I'm like, fam, that's a pretty good job. I'm like, dang, you got, and no, like she worked at, I think it was a campus. And I'm pretty sure some people might be able to piece it together what cell phone company I'm talking about. But anyways, I don't think a whole lot of people would care. But I'm gonna keep the information on hush hush. But there's gonna probably be some people out there that be able to look that information up and all that stuff. But anyways, so she told me that. She was all like, yeah, there was like this big old giant campus. She's an engineer there. So I'm all like, oh, you working behind the scenes. Okay, cool. I'm like, maybe you can hook me up with a sale on it, or a discount on the bill or something. No, I didn't say all that, but no, I was like letting her know. I'm like, hey, you have a job where you could get some M's in your account. You know, like it could at least put you in that category or on that path of getting some M's on your account. Then I'm like, and then on top of what I'm doing, content creating, I'm like, I'm on that path too, where I want some M's in my account. I'm like, we got some $1 million jobs, you know? He had to join the stream, and I'm like, well, like here goes a stream that's going to end pretty badly and things, you know. It's gonna end with me going off on this guy, and sure enough it did. So he joins the stream. Me and my friend were he might have already been in the stream, but anyways, me and my friend we're talking about our jobs and past and all that stuff. He chimes in and he's like, I personally don't think that you guys will ever be millionaires. So I'm like, why does he have to just like come to this stream and always say something crazy? I'm like, fam, you don't have like a job or a personal like life that you, a girlfriend, something that you can like keep your mind occupied. Like this is what you're doing on your nights. You're like joining in on my stream, probably fat, slobby, sweating for no reason. And it's 30 degrees outside. And you want to join my stream and just be saying some old crazy off the wall stuff. But I wasn't gonna let it get to me. I'm like, you know what? I ain't gonna say nothing. Just gonna ignore him and things. I think I might have said something. I don't know. I wasn't really in my right mind at that time, you know. But no. So he says that, and then my friend, I can't remember what she said to him, but he was like, I just don't think that you guys are gonna be millionaires. And I'm like, look, bro. You don't know my friend. There ain't no reason for you to be saying no disrespectful comments. If you're going to be in my stream, you need to start being more respectful. I'm not having that. And he's trying to defend it. He was like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. He was like, but I'm just saying. I'm like, you know, you ain't saying nothing. There ain't nothing for you to say. I'm like, be respectful in my stream. Point blank simple. You ain't got to say nothing about nobody. Stop doing that. I'm like, otherwise people are going to start doing that to you. And I really hope people are doing that to him. I really do hope people are talking behind his back and he gets word of it and stuff just so he could get a taste of his own medicine. Because I'm like, to me, that just doesn't even make any sense for you to be carrying on like that. You a grown man arguing with people about some stuff that doesn't even involve you, and the only thing that you can brag about, oh, I walked 20 miles to a GameStop to trade in a video game. Yeah, I remember he came into my stream talking about that. I'm like, and you're proud of that. That's the only thing that you could be happy over in your whole existence of however many years you've been alive. Like, that's gonna be the story you tell your grandkids. Hey, there was a time where I walked out 20 miles to a GameStop and traded in a game. Cool. Buses, cars, and I guess none of that stuff didn't even exist. Like, you making it seem like you in the caveman days or something. But anyways, yeah, he was trying to apologize and all this other stuff. I wasn't even hearing it. And then, yeah, I think I can't remember what I did afterwards. I can't remember if I ended the stream or continued on playing the game and he left. But no, yeah, it was like he would do that and stuff, and I'm like, fam, what is your problem? What is your deal? So as the time went on, then I kind of started hearing stuff because he was like, because that's like the whole feature with Twitch is that you can raid out to people and stuff. So I would raid out to people, and it was one of my friends where it was he would join her stream frequently. And so there was a day where I had messaged her, and I can't remember if this was before or after I had banned him from my stream, but yeah, eventually I did ban him. And you know, a little spoiler alert towards the end of the story and stuff, but I'll get on why I banned him. But anyways, I had asked my friend, I was like, hey, does he come to your stream and says weird things? Because I'm just, maybe this is how he talks, like he has some sort of communication issues. Because if that's the case, I'm like, nah, bro, you need some help. You need professional help. But no, she told me that there was a day where she was talking about how she graduated from college, and she posted about it online. I'm like, I guess I missed it. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, she posted about it online, how she graduated from college. And he chimed in and was all like, well, it's not Ivy League, so I guess it ain't nothing to be proud over. And I'm thinking to myself, fam, she graduated from college. I wish I was there, because I definitely would have been all like, what can you say about yourself that you can accomplish? Like, you accomplished something. Like, if I ever do get the chance and opportunity to talk with that guy again, like, let's say he creates another account and he's all like, hey, I just wanted to make amends and all this other stuff, but he's on that weird behavior all over again. Oh yeah, I'm like, this time around, I ain't even gonna ban him. I'm like, nah, it's gonna be one of those things where I'm gonna embarrass you, or I'm gonna flip whatever it is that you're trying to do to me and make you upset. That's gonna be my goal. Trust me, fam. I've been doing this a lot longer than you've been on the internet. I know how to handle people. Now I know how to handle people like him. But anyway, I've been known how. I just don't feed into it and stuff. But yeah, no, she told me that, and I'm like, this guy is just weird, bro. I don't know what he got going on, but it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, you need some serious help. But no, so then the day where I banned him, I was playing Forza. I was playing Forza Horizon 5, I remember. And he joins in. He starts talking about his, like a friend of his, how he was like coming into town or something like that. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, so I'm like, you know, hopefully you guys have fun or whatever. Then he starts talking about his brother. I'm like, okay, here we go. He gonna say some more disrespectful stuff about his brother, and I'm like, fam, why are you not like, say this, have this same energy to your friends, say this to their face. Why you feel like you always gotta come to me and talk about somebody? Go talk to these people about that. I don't care, you know. So, but yeah, he got to talking about his brother, and I'm like, bro, stop. I'm like, just stop. I'm like, that to me, that just doesn't even make any sense. You talking about his brother like that? I'm like, you don't even know his brother like that to be talking behind his back and things. But no, eventually I did end the stream, and I'm like, you know what? Nah, forget that. I'm banning him. Banned him. Then he had messaged me on because I banned and blocked him, because I remember he was following me on I think it was just Instagram. But anyways, banned, blocked him. Then he messaged me, I think it was off of another account, and was like, oh, he was like, I just want to apologize. But then he was all like, but I'm gonna go around and tell everybody how you blocked me and all this other stuff, and you being weird and all this. And I'm like, okay, I know how to handle this. So then that's when I had, if you guys, I think I uploaded those videos on my backup channel. I have a backup channel called TMossBoss Extended, where I show some of the messages and stuff that he sent me. And so I'm like, okay, you could go ahead and do all that and things. But yeah, I'm like, so that ended up happening, that whole situation, because I exposed him. I was like, nah, bro, you getting exposed for how you're acting. So anyways, he then that was the whole thing that he was doing, and I'm like, this guy is just weird. It just got to a point where I'm like, I'll just find other streamers, people that he don't know, that I guess that he can like chime in or whatever and things. But anyway, because I was like, no, I will let that streamer know, because I'm like, he's doing it to people that that I guess like we can say that it's a mutual friend and stuff, where it's like they picking and choosing between us and stuff. But I'm like, hey, you want to be weird, go ahead and be weird. I'm gonna go to another stream and stuff. But no, that's what he would do. So every time when I would end a stream, that's how I knew he was watching my streams. Every time I would end a stream and then raid out to somebody, he'll join that stream, and be when I'm like talking and chatting with them and stuff, then that's when he jumps in. And my thing is this, I put it to the test one day. I didn't say nothing for the whole stream. It was some time after the stream of me being in there and stuff. And then I jumped in. I said, oh, hey, how's it going? Then he jumped in and started talking. And I'm like, fam, I've been in this stream all this time, and it's like, you ain't said nothing, you ain't did nothing. You always wait for me. Like, you got all these streams open, and then you just wait for me to say something. Then that's when you want to say something. And I was like, you know what? Forget it. I ain't gonna join in on these people's streams no more. I'm sorry, to those streamers. I really do like supporting people, but yeah, if I got weird people like that watching me, I'm like, nah, bro. You gotta go on about your business and do your thing. But I don't know why I gotta be involved. But yeah, overall, that was the whole situation between me and that particular fan with Just a Robot. I'm telling you, he got some weird fans, bro. I definitely could come up with some more episodes and things. I'll just have to sit down, probably go through tweets and Instagram posts and YouTube videos. But oh yeah, I definitely got some more content and things talking about his fans and how they be acting and stuff. So, but anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and for listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.